There we go. I forgot to put my do not disturb on, you guys. Sorry about the false start. Let's see if I'm up live. Test check. There we go. Oh man, that's quite a delay, you guys. I think I'm 30 seconds behind on YouTube than what I'm actually saying, which is going to delay everybody's responses to me. Hopefully that'll improve with time. All right. So, 13 in the house so far. Not too shabby. You guys let me know if there's somebody else that's live streaming right now in the YTPC that I don't know about. Let me know. I don't want to step on anyone else's toes as far as their live stream time. But I checked the Briar report calendar and let's see. Jack Ryan Pipe's live stream from Scotland is on Monday at 5 Eastern, which was an hour and a half ago, but it doesn't look like the live stream is still going. So I think I'm good. Yardism's live now? Let me check. Let's see. Well, it's almost difficult to not not step on Chad's videos. He is live. Dadgummit. I don't know what to do. I could either go to Chad's live stream. I wish there was an easy way that YouTube would make for us, that if we see two live streams going on at the same time, we could just combine them and he and I could just sync up and have a conversation. But there doesn't seem to be a way anymore for us to easily do that. William, I'm glad you like that camo. I almost pulled my camo 642 off the shelf this evening. Well, guys, I really don't know what to do. I don't want to overstep my bounds with Chad. Yeah, the Phoenix pipes have been pretty good sellers and very good smokers. Welsh Piper. Got 21 on here now. I guess I'll light up, man. And my apologies to Chad. I don't even want to interrupt his live stream because I don't want anyone to come over here that's already over there. But I'm going to load up some Pegasus and just have a quick smoke. I don't intend for this live stream to be, you know, last week when I started live streaming again, pretty much all my live streams went about an hour, like an hour and 6 minutes. And I did them in the mornings typically last week. Today I had errands to run in the morning, so I wasn't able to go live. And almost didn't today, but all right. Got my Beltane's fire pipe loaded up with some Pegasus. Try to light with a couple of matches. But I got my air going out here. I think I got it going with one match. Nice. I might get it really going here in a minute with a lighter. Oh, that's too bad. I hate to hear about technical difficulties like that. It can be really stressful, especially for the person that's going live. Let me try to fix my shot a little bit here. Get some ambiance. Where's my lights? There we go. Hey, Kirk. Signalman Tony, hey, man. Smooth Piper, what were you guys using on the live stream? Were y'all doing a Zoom live? Or were you using something else? Glad you made it. All right, let's put the Pegasus away and load it up another day. And what do I want to talk about? So, you guys have probably heard that YouTube has been coming after cigar presenters, cigar reviewers, anyone making cigar content in the past week. And so far, the biggest casualty of that has been, if you guys smoke cigars, you might be familiar with the YouTube channel Cigar Obsession. They deleted all their content and made one video that was just a few minutes long saying that they were done with YouTube. YouTube's made it impossible to monetize videos about tobacco, and now they're going a step further and restricting content. And I don't know, that you know, it may become a problem for pipe smoking as well. But what Cigar Obsession did was they said, we're gone. We're not going to play this game. We deleted all our videos. And they asked everybody to just go subscribe to them on their other social media platforms. And that might be what we wind up having to do. I might make a standalone video about it. I'm not sure. Because I don't want to create mass hysteria or like feed into that. We may be fine. Unless you were planning on monetizing your channel, that is, which, you know, I started monetizing my channel about 2 months before they started limiting monetization on my videos. And that was like 2 years back. So lately I've been just setting off, monetization off for all my new videos. Yeah, Daniel, Cigar Obsession did go to Rumble. They're also uploading all of their videos. What they did was they had copies of all of their videos, and they're uploading all of their videos to Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble. And you know, I'm not super familiar with that channel, or with video content on Instagram or Facebook. But I may start doing the same thing just in case we ever have, you know, the other foot falls on YouTube, so to speak. I don't know, you know, what the video length maximum is on those other platforms. But here's what I would say. I would advise that if you value tobacco content of any kind, which YouTube seems to be pushing us out more and more, and if you value the pipe Nook content, go ahead and go to the different social media platforms. Go to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the moment. Look for the pipe Nook and subscribe or follow, whatever the terminology is. But currently I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube. But YouTube has been my primary form of interacting with the community and getting information out. But that could change in the future. So I would say just, you know, if you're on other social media, even if you're not, I would go ahead and make an account, at least on one. Maybe Instagram would be a good secondary. Just to make sure you don't lose track of me and any of your other favorite YouTube pipe presenters. Just in case. And I do intend to get on Rumble myself. I haven't made an account yet, but I'm going to get on Rumble. I'm going to, you know, basically start over there. I mean, I've got over 9,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that is not, I don't take that number lightly. Cigar Obsession, that we just talked about, they have 139,000 subscribers on YouTube and 3.9 thousand subscribers on Rumble. So it's definitely starting over. But I'll let you guys know when I create that account so you can go over and, you know, subscribe to that channel just in case we need it. We need it. At this point, we need a secondary. And I know Phil at Briar Report, bless his heart, tried and tried to make that happen with BRTV, and it was just too costly and too time consuming and too everything for one guy to do on his own. And unfortunately, I don't have $100,000 or more to throw at creating something like YouTube just for the pipe community. So we're going to have to use, I think, a pre-existing form of social media, platform of social media, as a secondary to YouTube. And again, you guys, you know, if you go and subscribe to me on Instagram, just know I don't post there a lot. I know some of y'all post on Instagram multiple times a day. It's just not something that I've ever gotten into myself. Now, I'll check my Instagram every now and then, but I very rarely contribute. But if I can post videos and do live streams over there, that may be different. So, and it may just be something that I only do once in a while, And then if and when anything happens to my YouTube channel, I'll be going over there like gangbusters. So, not trying to start any rumors, not trying to scream the sky is falling, but just wanted to make mention of the news of the week. Also subscribe to my newsletter on my own website, because that's a way for me to disseminate information, on my own platform. But I sure can't post a video. I could post a video or two, but I can't put 300 videos on my Pipe Nook website. Is there an RSS feed for the Pipe Nook blog? I believe there is. RSS is a technology, a website feature that I've never personally used myself, but I believe I've got that set up. Somebody asked me about it a couple of months ago, and then they verified that it was working, so hopefully that's still the case. Eric, what's up, man? Preacher Man Piper, hello. You may sneer at this, but I don't really feel like a young man anymore. I'm 47 now, and I know that's not old. Unless you talk to my kids, they'll tell you different. That's pretty old. But I certainly don't feel young anymore. I will not be in Chicago. I'm kind of averse to flying. But beyond that, I couldn't get away for a whole week at this point in time. And that would have been quite an expense to book a flight and hotel and all that. So I just didn't have it so close to, I went to the Muletown Pipe Show, what was that, a month and a half ago? No, I'll stay in my own shoes, Welsh Piper. Daniel, it would just be too costly. It would be too costly to run my own dedicated video server. Too much startup and too much in maintenance. Unfortunately. I'll do my best, Preacher Man. Muletown was fun. It was on the smaller side as far as pipe shows go, but it was, you know, I got to see people, friends from the YTPC, both that I've met and never met before in person. I got to meet some brand new people. It was a good time. And of course, I went around to all the booths and all that. Made a couple of business connections, you know, for business networking and whatnot. But I go to the pipe shows to hang out and be social. Business is kind of secondary for me when I go to the shows, and that's kind of something that I've always been like that. But up until this year, you know, I could validate that because the Pipe Nook was my side thing, my side gig. Now it's my main gig, so I really need to rethink that strategy. I probably should have had a booth there this year, but I just didn't want to be stuck behind a booth for 2 days straight. I didn't want to lug all kinds of inventory to Nashville and back. I'm not staying up on the chat, you guys. Jimmy, I'm smoking some Pegasus from Cornell and Deal, or what I come to refer to as Haunted Bookshop Light. I don't have one of Jay Mouton's olive wood pipes, but I have one of his, oh gosh, Morta. I couldn't think of the word. One of his Morta pipes. Excellent smoker. I do like olive wood as a pipe material, though. I have two, I think, olive wood pipes in the collection. It'd be nice to have another one. I'm not sure what the largest pipe show in the U.S. is. I think Welsh Piper asked about it. I would love to stock olive wood pipes, but I would have to find the right brand that has olive wood pipes. I don't believe any of the brands I currently carry make olive wood pipes. So either they would have, one of those brands would have to come up with an olive wood series, or I would have to find a different brand. And that's kind of on the rollout, but my rollout has become very slow recently. Well, not recently. In the past year, my rollout I've only been able to roll out probably 25% of the products that I would really want to. Yeah, the Vegas show, possibly the largest. That would have been my guess, but I've never been. I don't know that I necessarily have a favorite pipe shape, Paul, but if I did, I mean, this is my favorite pipe, and I'm not really sure what to call this shape. A bent ball, I would say, maybe. But as far as a more standard pipe shape, probably the Author. I really like the Savinelli 320. And I like other Author shapes that I've seen from other makers. But I have several pipe shapes that I really like. Paul, you would call this a bulldog right here? It doesn't have a diamond shank. Which I kind of think of bulldogs as having. Yeah. Daniel, I actually have been thinking about doing a pipe of the year. It may be too late to do it this year since we're already in May, but if I do it, it would probably be by pre-order. Just because I would have no idea how many to order without doing a pre-order. That gives me a definite number of like, hey, this many people are interested in and want this pipe. Yeah, I might go with the probably Savinelli to do a pipe of the year, either later this year, possibly in 2023. But it is something I've been thinking about. And I would think my first one would have to be a 320. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. I picked up some cigars, which is rare for me. Fairly rare. But you guys know Briarville Pipe Repair used to be owned by Rick Farah. It's changed hands, but yeah, I heard about these Briar Works cigars. And when I saw them, they were really unique. So let me show you. I bought a few of them, just a quick handful, but I'll show you what I mean by unique if you guys haven't seen these. So this is a box pressed, about a Churchill size, but it's got different shades of wrapper leaf that they make these really cool designs off of. I really like this. I haven't smoked one, And I didn't necessarily buy it expecting it to be a phenomenal smoke. But if they are, that will surprise me. Well, not surprise me, but it'll just be an added bonus. But when I saw these, I just had to try them. Here's another one. And all these designs have different names and different, I believe, different tobacco components in them. Not just the wrapper differences, but then I got one of these torpedo type shapes. Really cool looking cigars. This one's my favorite. Look at this. Got a tobacco leaf on it. Very cool. Yeah, I had seen some cigars that were like candy striped with like Clara and Maduro maybe. And they just kind of look like candy canes in the past, but like the big strips. I'd never seen anything like this before. They are available to purchase. They're on tobaccopipes.com. So you guys have my blessing to buy cigars from tobaccopipes.com. But if you can get your pipes and accessories from me, if I've got what you want, I would much appreciate you sticking with the Pipe Nook for those items. But currently, I don't, and I don't think I'll ever step into carrying cigars because of the humidor issue. Let's see, we got 39 in the house. Do I have any 320 extras in? You mean the EX versions of 320s? If so, I don't currently have any EXs in on the site or in stock. The 320 is a pretty big pipe. The EX is a step above that. Occasionally, I'll get somebody requesting me to special order one, and I definitely do that. So if you're interested, you can email me and with specifically what line you would want an EX 320 from, and I can see if they're available and I can invoice you if you want to do that. Oh, I mean, I highly recommend the 320s. The standard 320 is the KS. That's the smallest one that they make. They don't, well, they have what's called the 321, which is a more standard sized, medium to small. It's not really a small pipe, but the 321 is basically a smaller version of the 320. But the 320s start in the KS or king-sized designations. And yeah, I highly recommend those. My favorite shape, I do believe. I've got 4 of them right now. Yeah. The 320 shanks are so thick that they don't fit in my cabinet, so I've just got them all lined up over here. All 4 of them. I used to have another one in the Mega series in my personal collection, but it was just too big. I believe I either sold that or gave it away to a friend. I can't remember. I believe I have some 320 KSs in the Roma Lucite series that are 9mm. Aside from that, they're all 6mm on my site. From the dark side, where might that be? Just so you guys know, I don't hold any grudges or anything like that. I have no animosity towards the larger pipe companies, the online retailers out there. But I greatly appreciate those of you that purchase from me to keep this little boat afloat. Paul wants to know what's everyone's favorite. Yeah, I think there's 114 KSs and 9mm on the site, in the Roma Lucite. In the Roma Lucite vein, possibly in the Sienna series as well. There's also 9mm 320s in the Sienna series. So those two, Roma Lucite and Sienna, I have 9mm versions of pipes. But Paul was saying, what's everyone's favorite strong on the nicotine pipe tobacco? And I know it's not the strongest, but my vote would be Irish Flake. I love Irish Flake, but I try to eat a good meal before I smoke it. The old dark fired from McBaron is also pretty strong, but it's not, to my mind, as strong as the Irish Flake. Amazon, that is the dark side, brother. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I would say the straight billiard is probably the most popular basic shape of all time. Of course, there's so many different variations of a straight billiard. Even Savinelli's probably got 10 or 12 straight billiards on their shape chart, just different proportions of shank and bowl and stem. PA Piper, do you consider the Escudo to be high nicotine? I've never really, I've always considered Escudo a middle of the road tobacco for as far as nicotine level and strength. Yeah. It is a good blend, though. If that Rustica from McBaron is still available, I don't know if it is or not, but that stuff will knock you back for sure. That's the strongest I've ever had, but it's not a favorite of mine. That's a once in a while smoke for me. Peter, those Series 3s, they discontinued them, at least for now. I'm hoping not forever, but they did. I finally got an official announcement from them that the Series 3 unfinished pipes were discontinued. And I believe the only reason I can think they would have done that, because they were such good sellers, was that they looked at the bottom line, and they must have found somebody that was willing to pay for their unfinished Briar shapes. Because, Savinelli would, they didn't say, okay, this Ebouchon is going to become a Series 3 pipe. What they would do is, while they were shaping the Briar into a shape for another line, if it didn't meet the standards of that line, they would chuck it in a box and finish it out as a Series 3 pipe. Typically that had to do with it needing more fills than they wanted to do, or any fills depending on the series. The grain wasn't pretty or whatever. But I think they must be selling those elsewhere to some other company, and probably making about the same amount of money, since they're not having to finish out the pipe and sell it themselves. That is my guess, and only a guess, but they don't give me that kind of inside pool. Oh yeah, Old Joe Krantz is a good one too. Old Joe Krantz. Nightcap's also pretty strong, and one of my favorite Latakia blends. It helps that there's Perique in it, to my taste. Rossi, who asked about that? Welsh Piper. Rossi is a sister company to Savinelli, and as a guitar player, I consider it this way, but it's not exactly like this, but a close enough analogy. Gibson makes high-end guitars. Gibson has a sister company called Epiphone that makes Les Pauls just like Gibsons and SGs and whatnot, but they're lower end, price-wise, guitars than a Gibson. They may be made offshore, in Korea or wherever. Same thing with Fender guitars. They also have a sister company called Squier. And those are made in, China or Indonesia or what have you. Whereas most Fenders are made in the U.S. Now, Savinelli owns Rossi. It's a sister company to Savinelli. So the box will say Rossi by Savinelli. But they're both made in Italy, and they're probably made in the same factory, or at least possibly in a factory, a building right next door to the Savinelli building, possibly. Or it could be the exact same facility. I'm not 100% on that. But Savinelli does own Rossi, and both brands are made in Italy. So you do get a pretty high quality pipe from Rossi for about, I would say 20 to 30 bucks less than Savinelli, usually with less, appointments. Not as nice of a finish, perhaps not as nice of a ring, that kind of stuff. But Rossi's are amazing pipes. Here's my Rossi. I've got a Rossi 320. They don't make this anymore, but this is the old Rubino series. But they make the Rubino Antico, which is a lighter and more polished version of this that I carry. I also have a couple of other Rossis in the collection, and I've never had any problems with them. They smoke just as good as Savinelli's to me. I've got a couple of Rossis up in the cabinet that I won't mess with because my shoulder's been bothering me. But yeah. They tend to put the number 8 in front of the shape, so like the 320 would be the 8320 or the 8320. Yep. You guys were already ahead of me in the comments. But Rossi used to be its own company. They were competitors way back in the day, but I think the families were close that owned those two companies. And when Rossi went under, Savinelli eventually, I'm not sure the timeline, but eventually bought the name and probably a lot of their equipment, if not all of their equipment. My battery just gave me a low power warning, so I'm gonna have to shut her down here pretty quick. Let me go through the chat a little bit more. That Sustainiac is a cool pickup, man. I like that. Josh, that's a good way to put it. Just Rossi's not quite as fancy as Savinelli, but they do smoke equally well. Paul, I don't have a regular time frame, at least not at the moment. I just go live when I can. Today I had to do it late, but typically I've been trying to go live in the mornings. Right after I do my packing of orders for the day, and right before I do my email follow-up and all of that, my website maintenance and inventory and whatever else I have to do that day. But I try to knock it out earlier in the day. Today I just didn't get to it until later. Oh, well, I've got some people that just came on, but my battery's dying, y'all, so I'm gonna have to get off. All right, we're gonna cut it short. Sorry to the newcomers, but I will try to go live again tomorrow at some point, and we'll chat again then. Y'all have a good evening. I'm gonna go find some dinner. We'll talk to you soon.